Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Harlan Kilstein, and I'd like to welcome you to our webinar called Just 4 Minutes. This year, we're going to be talking about keeping your New Year's resolution, and we're going to be talking about the Just 4 Minute program, which I think when you understand the history and you understand what's been going on with people who want to make changes in their life or perhaps lose some weight, I think it's going to open up your eyes a little bit. So, just for a question, how many people here is fitness or um, or getting into shape an important thing, something you'd like to make a resolution about in the coming year? How many people? I'm seeing very important. Yep, very important. Certainly. Yes, stay in shape. Yes, yes, I am. Yep. Okay. Lots and lots of people who know that this is important. Okay, now I've got another question for you. It's a constant struggle. Okay, so how many people here, I'm not going to mention your names, but if you've made a resolution about health before and have not kept it, type it in. That's me. I won't call out your name. If you've made a resolution to do, yup, that's me, that's me, that's me, sad face, that's me, that's me. Oh yeah, that's me. Yes, exclamation point, me. Uh-huh, me, sometimes me, yup, that's me, that's me, uh-huh. Okay, so we're finding that there's a lot of commonality here, that people on this call have something in common, that we know fitness is important, we make a New Year's resolution, and yet sometimes it doesn't get kept. Well, I want you to know that you're not alone. So we're going to jump in, and I think you're going to understand a little bit more about yourself and something that you can do about it. So, with your permission, I'm going to get started. Just so that you know, we are live right now. And if you're not listening to me on the live call, I want you to know that it's recorded, so you won't be able to get your questions answered unless you contact us via email. So here we go. Let's dive in. Have you ever wondered, as I have, why so many people don't keep their New Year's resolutions? I mean, each year they start out and they say, this year is going to be different. Now, you've probably guessed that a lot of people um, do the traditional things that are done every year. I guarantee you that if you walk into a local bookstore, if you walk into a Barnes and Noble and you walk in the first week of January, the second week of January, you're going to see right at the entranceway a pile of books on fitness and weight loss. And many of them have been there since last year. Others are new titles. You're going to see that people start talking about going to the gym and getting fit and exercising. And if you live in a neighborhood where people walk or ride bikes or jog, over the next couple of days, you're going to see more and more people doing it because they've started out on their new year and they have the right attitude. Now, the simple reason that most people don't keep their resolutions is because they choose goals that are impossible to follow up with on a day to day basis. Like this woman over here who put a catcher's mask on her head to try and keep food out of her mouth. And when she sits down, she's sitting down to a big plate of celery and drinking water, thinking, okay, I'm going to go on this diet and I'm finally going to lose the weight that I want because nothing with a calorie is going to enter my mouth. And at one time or another, so many people have made or taken extreme diets, but ultimately, you probably know they don't last. So if you've ever tried something a little bit extreme, and it may be an extreme diet, Go ahead, type it in now and let me know what it was. Succeeded, but it fell off the wagon. Paleo fasting for 14 days. Wow. Atkins, juice fasting. Okay. Bananas and skim milk. Okay. Cambridge diets, soup diets, vegan diets. Okay. You getting the idea? Atkins, more Atkins. Lots of people have tried Atkins. And what are the results? You lose some weight, but then what happens? Cabbage soup, counting calories, more. What happens? You lose some weight, and then the pounds just climb back on. Okay? They climb back on. They never really go away. They're just kind of hiding on the sidelines, waiting to pounce when you're not looking. Okay? So lots of people choose fitness or weight loss as their top New Year's resolution. And if you go into the gyms, starting New Year's Day, they're open. They're signing up members right and left. Uh, there are just about no discounts in January because they know people are coming. You go into those gyms, they're crowded. People are there from early in the morning until late at night, and they put in the time and they put in the effort. The gyms are so crowded. If you go in, you want to use a treadmill, chances are, you know, depending on the size of your gym, you may have to wait for the equipment. I remember going into gyms and all the treadmills were taken, all of the stair climbers were taken, all of the ellipticals were taken. On the far side of the room, there were a couple of old bicycles in a corner, and there was no waiting to use those. Okay, so the gyms are crowded. Everybody wants to use the same equipment at the same time. Everybody thinks, you know what? I'm going to go before work. I'll probably be the only one there. Right. And then as soon as you walk in the door, you find out that a couple of other people, a couple of the 100 people had the same idea. But if you give it a few weeks and the same thing happens every year, people give up on their fitness and their weight loss resolutions, and the gyms become empty again. So, what happens is the first 2 weeks of January, the place is packed. The third week of January, people start to drop out. By the end of January, at least half the people are gone. By the end of February, your gym that was so crowded looks like this most of the day. Now, how many people here have experienced something like this before? How many people have seen the gyms being crowded and then, yeah, here, yep, I have. Okay, see it every year. I owned a gym. Wow, I didn't know that about you. Absolutely, I've seen it. Yes. Okay, so this is the pattern. Oh yeah, people are saying this is what goes on. So what happens is something has happened to change people's minds. Something has happened so that people do not get their goals. Now, you probably know by now that the only way gyms make money is by people buying gym memberships and not using them. Because I'm going to tell you a dirty little secret, and that is that if everybody who bought a gym membership used that gym membership and came in, you'd be really disappointed because the gyms cannot accommodate you. No way, no how, not happening. If even half the people came in and wanted to use their gym memberships, the gyms would be unable to cope with the rush. They wouldn't have enough lockers, they wouldn't have enough machines, they wouldn't have enough anything because they just aren't built for crowds. They are built to sell memberships, and that's all. So, unfortunately, the gyms don't really care about your success. All they care about is um, is you paying for your membership. If you drop out of your gym in the middle of January or in February, and they've got your credit card information and they're dinging your card, I can absolutely promise you that the majority of gyms will not pick up the phone and call you up and say, "Hey, Harlan, where have you been? I've missed you. Come on in so you can get your goals." It's not going to happen. They want the gym empty so that they can accommodate people without crowds. So basically, they live for these first 2, 3 weeks of January to get people in and then count on them dropping out. They're basically counting that you're not going to get your goals. It's a pretty nasty circumstance, but unfortunately, that's the way it works. So let me assure you before we go any further, it's not your fault. Okay? It's just not your fault. The expectations that the fitness community has for us are pretty absurd. Now, I'm looking at the Center of Disease Control. So this is a US government site, and here's what they're saying: that adults need 2 hours and 30 minutes, so it's 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity, brisk walking every week, and muscle strengthening activities on 2 or more days, or 1 hour and 15 minutes, 75 minutes of vigorously intensive aerobic exercise, or and muscle strengthening. So basically, what they are saying is that the government recommends nearly an hour of exercise 5 days a week. Okay, that's a lot of time, and you know that would be really great if we also didn't have things like jobs, families, children, money pressures. If all we had was hours to spare every day, um, we'd probably do a great job getting those hours in. Let me ask you a question. For how many people on this call does life get in the way of your desire to exercise? Me, amen. Yeah, 100% of the time. Me. Okay, every day. Yes. Is the Pope Catholic? Last time I checked. So the problem is that we just do not have me, more of them coming in. We just do not have the time to exercise that the government says we should. Okay. We're not being bad. It's just we honestly and sincerely don't have the time. But we like to exercise. And life would be a breeze if the exercises that they wanted us to do were fun and enjoyable, that they didn't take a lot of fancy equipment. Okay, you want to buy a treadmill for your house or an elliptical for your house, it's going to set you back $1,000 for a good piece of equipment, maybe much more. Imagine if you could do these exercises anywhere and not just in a gym. You didn't have to get a car, go across town and go to a gym. Uh, that would be ideal. And what if we had the time to do it? What if we really had the time to do it? Well, that would be something truly amazing. So I want you to know something that I completely understand. And for those of you whose goal is to get fit or to lose weight, I'm going to ask you some vitally important questions, and just go ahead and type in the answers to these questions one at a time. You already know what to do to lose weight, don't you? People are typing in, yep. Everyone, every single person has typed in yes. Okay. C. Okay. Thanks. Yes. Everybody's typing that. Okay. Um, how many people know what foods they should eat and how much of them they're supposed to eat? How many really do have a good idea? I do. Yes. 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 I'm a doctor, of course. Double yep. He thinks so. Okay. I do. Roughly. Okay. Bottom line is, I believe people know what to do. And you probably have a good idea, tell me if I'm right or wrong, of what exercises to do that would get you into shape. Tell me if I'm right. Right, right, right. Yes, for this one too. Somewhat. Yes. Yep, yep. Think so, right? Okay. Vaguely. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, whoa, where'd we go? It doesn't. The problem isn't what you know. It's the pressures within you that get you to do something else. Okay. For example, you shouldn't be eating a candy bar, but a little voice inside you seduces you into thinking, well, one little candy bar isn't going to hurt. How many people have heard that voice? Okay. Um, or people say, yeah, okay, too many, I know it intimately too many times. You know you should exercise, but you start skipping days. Does this happen to you? Okay. And so, how exactly does this happen? We're going to address that in just a moment. Okay. You need exactly three things in order to succeed. Number one is you need a fitness program that fits into your lifestyle, one that does not require hours every single day. Number two, you need a fitness program that gives you a real workout without putting in hours at the gym. And number three, you need support that's always there for you when you need it. Because let me just say that I don't believe that in the history of people getting fit or losing weight, that there is anyone who has ever done it without support for people who are there with them, encouraging them. It's just, I don't believe that it's possible because everyone is going to stumble at one point or another. And it just, um, um, and it's just not possible to do it without without the support. It's absolutely critical. So I'd like you to meet the start of my journey. The start of my journey is, you may have seen this in airplane magazines, which is, I believe, one of the only places it's sold. It's called the 4 Minute Exercise Machine. I've nicknamed it the bicycle from hell. This is where the first time, many, many years ago, I got the idea of short exercise. And this bicycle, or type of bicycle or machine, is a bicycle that you get on for 4 minutes, and it works every muscle of your body. And if you survive the 4 minutes, that's it for you for the day. Okay. Now, it sounds like a terrific idea. There's only one problem. I'll show you. Other than the fact that it really is death on wheels and the bicycle from hell, the price is $14,615 plus $185 and shipping. Now, if you would like to return it, okay, they return your money, but they keep $1,500 of it for letting you try the machine. Okay, um, they take $1,500 in case you return it. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a pretty expensive piece of exercise equipment. How many people? How many people think that that exercise equipment would be something that they would want to purchase? Anyone? Nope. No way. That's ridiculous. No way. Nope. Not a chance. No. 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 I'd love it if I had the money. No. Um, I actually paid twice as much for another set of equipment. Okay, so that sounds like quite a story there. Um, the bottom line is, this thing sells for $14,615. They probably don't sell too many of them. They have an endorsement from Tony Robbins, who has two of them, one at his home and one at his resort home. So that gives you an idea of who their target market is. Um, so I'd like to introduce you now to our hero. Our hero is a man by the name of Izumi Tabata. Izumi Tabata is a Japanese exercise research scientist. Now, put this guy in a room with some athletes and some measuring equipment, and this guy is in heaven. He just loves to see what makes people exercise better, what gives them better results. And as you can see, here he is surrounded by his equipment. He just loves testing people. And he came up with a little experiment that would have revolutionized the exercise world if only someone shared it with you. So let me show you what Tabata came up with. Tabata's experiment was with Olympic athletes on Japan's speed skating team. He was one of the coaches of the speed skating team, and he designed a little experiment. Here's what he studied. There was a test group and there was a control group. The test group, Tabata's group, exercised in short bursts of high energy. Each short burst was followed by a rest period. There were 8 cycles of exercise and rest. The total exercise time was 4 minutes, just 4 times a week. Now, originally he said that 3 times a week would be enough. Then the athletes complained, no, we're going to fall behind. And so he upped it to 4 minutes, 4 times a week. And then the athletes came along and said, no, we've got to exercise just one regular exercise session a week. So he said, okay, because otherwise they never would have continued training with him. Okay, so ultimately that group was 5 times a week. 1 time was their regular training, but the other 4 times was just 4 minutes. Now, the control group were regular people on the Olympic speed skating team in Japan. They trained regularly. They trained for periods of over an hour each day, and their extended exercise was for 5 days a week. So they both ended up doing 5 days of exercise. Then they compared the results of the two groups, Tabata's test group and the control group. And boy, were they in for a surprise. Tabata's experimental group outperformed the regular group. They had a higher metabolism rate, they had better oxygen output, and they showed better fitness improvement. And where it counted, they performed better at their sport. And he published his studies in an article called Metabolic Profile of High Intensity Intermittent Exercises. And this study of his has been cited in more than 200 scientific journals as absolutely breakthrough information, a new way of doing exercise. You can do your exercise for the day in just 4 minutes and have better results than if you exercise for an hour or more. It seems crazy, but science has shown that it's true. So let's get this straight. In 4 minutes a day, you can get all the exercise your body needs. Now, remember, the people who were doing the training were Olympic athletes. Okay, they are already in great shape. Now, obviously, folks who regular folks who don't train like they do can get results, but it's going to take a little bit longer. The truth of the matter is, when you start doing the 4-minute training, the just 4-minute program, you'll know the first time that it's having an effect on you. The first time, quite frankly, some people, even going at their own pace, aren't able to do the 4 minutes. That's okay. In time, By the second time, I bet you will be able to do it. And by the second week, you'll start feeling better. You'll start noticing results. Uh, by the second week, your muscles will be stronger. By the second week, you'll start to notice changes in the way your clothes fit on you. And you'll start to notice the way you look when you pass by the mirror and you look inside. And that's what his research showed. So let me ask a question. This is really great research. How did the gyms and personal trainers react to this? So, what we are looking at is a piece of pottery, and the piece of pottery is called the Procrustean bed. Procrustes was the son of Poseidon in Greek mythology. And he had a bed, and then you see the person laying on the bed. And if you were too long for the bed, he chopped off your extremities so that you fit the bed. And if you were too short for the bed, you see the legs on the sides there. And if you were too short for the bed, well, they made it like a rack and they stretched you until you fit the bed. So either way, it wasn't a very comfortable bed. Now, the Procrustean bed has become a metaphor or an example for people who take all the information that they learn and they want to get it to fit into their own way of looking at the world. Everything has to fit the way I look at the world. So, what did the fitness community say? They said, well, Tabata training really works, but you have to do it for at least an hour. Of course, he said do it for 4 minutes. You should add weights or kettlebells. Well, he didn't. You shouldn't do it often, like you should do an hour training maybe once or twice a month, but don't do it regularly. Well, he had people doing it 4 times a week. And it should supplement your regular routine. In other words, you should do your regular fitness training. And if you really want to do the training that Tabata said, well, let's change it. Let's add weights and let's do it on top of what you've already done. In other words, they took it and they made things quite ridiculous. Quite ridiculous. And that was not the goal. What they're doing is they're doing what Procrustes did on his infamous bed. They're taking Tabata's experiments and they're twisting them, they're stretching them, they're cutting them off to fit their own model of the world. Now, here you had something that was a revolutionary technique, and they came along and said, no, you still have to do it our way. So let's ignore the people with the failing track record. The gyms, the fitness clubs, the personal trainers just keep doing the same thing they've been doing year after year, and people don't get results year after year. They know what works because, after all, they're professionals, except when it doesn't work and people drop out of the gyms after about 2 weeks because they're frustrated, because they're exhausted, because they're bored, and because it's not fun. They are ignoring the most revolutionary exercise program that has come along in years. Now, Tabata did his original research in 1996. That's 17 years ago. Isn't that enough time that they for admit that what they're teaching just doesn't work? Okay. Now, if you do something and you're doing it now, obviously it's more than 17 years, and the majority of Americans are out of shape. The majority of Americans aren't fit. Isn't it time for them to look at what they're doing and saying, you know what? Let's stop blaming our clients and start looking at ourselves. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Okay. How many people here are impressed with the way exercise is taught today? Not at all. Nope. Nope. Not me. not me. It's insanity. Definition of insanity. Um, okay. It works if people work it. Okay. It's too extreme. Okay. No, people are agreeing that what they're doing isn't working. Okay. So let's, that's why I created just 4 minutes. What I did follows the original Tabata protocols. There are no weights, there are no kettlebells, there's no expensive equipment, there are no 1 hour sessions, there are no gym memberships. You can do these exercises in your bedroom, in your living room, your backyard, or on the bench. Now, I wanted this so that if you travel, and I travel frequently, I don't want to have to carry any equipment. I don't want to have to um, go find uh, the gym when I'm traveling. See if there's a health club, and sometimes you'll find like 3 pieces of equipment, and you go there early in the morning, and they're all taken. I want to be able to do these exercises anywhere. And in just 4 minutes, you can have a really good workout because you set your own pace. So I want you to meet Anahi. Anahi is our trainer. Now, Anahi is a fitness trainer, and she had never heard of the Just 4 Minute program. And I met with her and explained it to her. And she was absolutely confident. You know what? I can do this. This is going to be easy. And then we shot the first 4 minute segment. And she had broken out into a sweat. Now, I should say sweat because women don't sweat, they glow. But had broken out into a sweat. And we had to pause to give her some time to rest between filming of the segments. And at the end of the day, when we had filmed the DVDs for you, I asked her what she thought. And she said, I'm going to start using this with the people who I teach in the gym because she was impressed at how powerful it was. So let's watch a sample. Now, I understand that it's not going to be perfect here. Here we go. There may be a little video lag. Now, every segment begins with a little warm up. You have a clock so you can see what's going on. Now you do 20 seconds of exercise. Here she's doing full squats. And then you come to a rest period. Just 20 seconds and then rest. Now, a lot of people like eliminating the rests, but that wasn't what Tabata's research was. Now she's doing leg lifts and she's working on the muscles in her feet and on her calves. All of the exercises that we have, when put together, work every part of your body in just 4 minutes at a time. And each segment alternates between one exercise and another. And the nice thing is that you can get a really incredible workout in 4 minutes. Every single person that I have shown this to and demonstrated it to and gone along with it and done the 4 minutes with me is like, that's incredible. Why isn't anyone talking about this? So what we have for you today is you could become a charter member of the Just 4 Minutes group. It comes with 2 DVDs. Each DVD has uh, 10 just 4 minute segments on it. So that what happens is when you exercise, your body gets used to patterns of exercise. Your body gets used to patterns of eating. If you did the same exercise every single day, your body would very, very rapidly come to a plateau. So, what we've done is we've given you 20 different exercises so your body never knows what's going to be coming. You get complete instructions on getting started. You get a 2-week food plan to guide you to a healthy new you. You get incredible support in our Facebook group. And ultimately, you finally accomplish your goals. Um, I know that this works. So I'm doing something that's pretty extraordinary, and I'm putting a 6-month guarantee behind this. Um, this program, if you use it for 6 months and it doesn't work, I want you to return it. Okay? 6 months, not 30 days, 6 months. If you don't feel better when you look in the mirror, if you don't feel more fit in just 4 minutes, if you don't think for any reason at all this program is for you, then I want you to return it. Now, you can get your copy of Just 4 Minutes um, at just4minutes.com/webinar. And Glenna's going to type that into the chat box so it becomes a clickable link with the HTTP. And we're going to take questions that you might have about the Just 4 Minute program and about how it works. And let's see if we can answer them. So, Glenna, just as soon as you finish typing, go ahead and let me know what some of the questions are.
Okay, it looks like Addie was asking, is there a way to put the DVD content on an iPad?
And the answer is yes, I've already done that. So basically, um, I want that with me everywhere. What you do, there are programs that will rip the DVDs right into your iPad format, and then you just add those files in iTunes, and they transfer very, very nicely to your iPad.
Okay, and Melissa was asking, this sounds awesome. How long does it usually take to begin to see results?
2 weeks. 2 weeks, and that's not me saying that. That's what Tabata recommended. 2 weeks, you'll start seeing results. First of all, if you mean results like that, you notice your stamina increasing, you'll notice that after um, the first two times you do it. Okay, let no one think that this exercise is 4 minutes and you're not going to notice it. At the end of 4 minutes, you're going to know you exercised. If you're in bad shape, and some people are, I'm not singling people out, but if you're not in good shape, uh, the first time you do it, we do what Tabata said. And he said that maybe you do fewer intervals. Maybe you only do 2 minutes. Okay, there's no crime. But I assure you, the next time you'll do 4 minutes. But typically, you will know after a session or two, this is working and you got an incredible workout. And the time that it takes most people to get into their car and pull out the driveway to go to the gym, you're already done with your exercise and you feel terrific.
And Carrie's asking, can you exercise just once a week and see results?
Well, first of all, if you're out of shape once a week, you're going to see some results. But the idea is that if you have to start it once a week, the number one response we found by people using the program is that they ask, can I do it more than one time a day? So, are you going to see results? I think you're going to need to do it more than once a week, quite frankly, to get results. It would be nice. It would be nice if we didn't even have to exercise even once a week, just lay in our beds and think about it. But our bodies do need the workout.
Okay, and Dave's kind of asking about the guarantee. He says that he's tried to return things in the past and had people not respond to emails. So how does he know that you will definitely return his money if he does not like the program.
So, first of all, number one is unlike most places, we actually have instructions for returning the DVDs right on the website. We're upfront. We're so confident that you'll do it um, that we, first of all, we give you enough time to try it. It's not a 30 days, so you're in a rush. You've got 6 months, and our address is right there. Our phone number is right there. Um, you'll know where to return it. And we've been in business for a long time. All we ask is that you return the DVDs to us and that you don't return broken DVDs or missing cases DVDs, or you don't return them with someone else's DVDs in them, and we'll refund your money. And yes, all of those have happened.
Okay. And Harris is asking, do you only have to do 4 minutes, or can he double up on sessions in an individual day?
He can definitely double up on sessions in an individual day. That's totally up to you. And as the DVDs are divided into two groups. The first is the basic program, and the second is the advanced program. So maybe you want to do a basic depending on your shape, you might want to do an advanced in the morning and a basic later in the day. Okay. Other people might want to do the reverse. And the answer is doing just 4 minutes in the morning and then doing it again in the afternoon will probably help your results. It's not necessary, but I know that there's some people who exercise because it also helps calm them down.
Okay. And not a question, but Laura says that she really likes that it gives you, um, actually, but she's saying 10 different options in a 4 minute format, but that's on each DVD, right? So there's actually 20.
That is
Is that
correct.
correct? Yeah, so she was saying that she really likes that, so she's saying thank you. Okay, and a couple of people were also asking if there was a downloadable digital option instead of the DVDs.
No, there's no digital option.
Okay, and Lorraine is asking if there are any age limitations. She's a little elderly, I guess, and she says but she's not creaky.
And the
And
answer is that the program and the instructions are all about customizing it for yourself. There are exercises that anyone can do, no matter how old they are or out of shape they are, and they can build into the other ones. It's all about modifying and not being embarrassed to modify.
and Carrie was asking if you could describe the support in more detail.
Well, the support will be in a Facebook group where you can come, you can ask questions, you can talk about issues that you might be having. Once you do that, we can give you some advice. Also, one thing people who've known have been in Facebook groups is that the group becomes a source of energy on its own, and you start getting some really good support from them.
Ken is asking how challenging do the advanced modules get?
The advanced modules get very challenging. Okay, you may have to modify them if you're in good shape. Um, you may just want to run and fly with them. If you go through the program in order and you go through, make sure you can do everything on basic one. By the time you get to the advanced, you'll find them a lot easier.
Okay. And Carrie was asking, um, what is the price of the DVDs?
Oh, the price is $49 plus shipping.
Okay, and Melissa was just asking again. She lives in California and she wanted to know roughly when to expect the DVD.
Well, depending on whether they get out because of the holiday, I'm going to guess that you should be getting them next Monday or Tuesday. Not this week, but next week because of the holiday shipping problems.
And Tony's asking, how suitable is this for men who want to build strength and lean muscle? Is it more for weight loss, or is it more for cardio and endurance?
It's for all of the above. These exercises are designed to use body weight for muscle building as well. And of course, just like with any exercise program, we recommend that you discuss with your doctor before starting the exercise program. And if your doctor looks these over and says, you know what, I don't think that you should do these, just send them back to us and we'll thank you for trying and we'll be very happy to refund your money. And we've had people do that in the past. Certainly not a problem.
Okay, yeah, and that looks like it. I don't see any other questions that have come in.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this year. We look forward to having you join us in the Just 4 Minutes group. And this year will be the year that you keep your New Year's resolutions. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.